Hello, hello, and welcome to the first class. And first class of the implied meditation, uh, the 12 module on the topic of applied meditation. Thank you for being here. And I am wrestling a little bit. I'm wrestling a little bit with the StreamYard. So sorry. Okay, there I am. Thank you for being here. And last week we spoke about a correct 8-point posture. And we also learned to neutralize the body and the mind through the breath. And the breath helps us slow down the body. And we also went and slow down the thoughts. And we also went through the 8-step meditation warm-up that helps clear the mind and tap into resources that help us have a good meditation. So I hope you got a chance to practice a little bit. And if you did, please share your feedback and ask if something needs clarification. But I want to clarify a couple more points today and talk about, so first off, we're going to be talking about the Mahamudra. Mahamudra is the meditation style, and I'll explain it later. But I want to go a little bit deeper into what we discussed last time, and it's how our inner body works. Because if you understand this will help you embrace all the techniques that we went through in the past classes. Because a lot of thought was put into this by wise masters of the wisdom traditions, and volumes were literally written on the subject of meditation and correct postures. So there must be something important in it. And it helped me to understand a little bit better and enforce or unlearn some of the things that I did potentially incorrectly. So our entire body, entire being, it's like layers of an onion. And the outermost layer is this gross physical body that we see, we can touch. But the next layer down is the breath. And the breath, it's the most important food. It's the most important food for the body. It supplies oxygen to our cells. And this breath also connects us to a subtle physical energy. So the energy that's within all of us, the energy that makes your heart beat, this energy layer is called prana, for instance, in Sanskrit. It's called chi, ki, lung, inner winds. It's all talking about the same stuff. And these wings, this energy, they go throughout our body in this layer. And there is a network of tiny tubes and channels. They're more subtle than finest light. They are like nervous or capillary system that is visible. This one is not visible. These are called nadis. And on the wings in this channel, channels, write our thoughts. And our thoughts always go together with the energy, with this prana, with this chi, with these wings. So they're like a horseman and the horse. They always ride together. And, when they say where your mind goes, there your energy goes. What you focus on expands. It's because the thought and energy are indivisible. They travel together. And that's why it's so critical to be mindful of where you put your attention, where you put your awareness, which is basically an attention. Because where you direct your thoughts, because where you direct them, there it goes all your energy, lifelong a life source for your entire body. And that's why attention and awareness is your most prized possession. So pay attention to where you pay attention to what you pay attention to. And then because everything is so connected, it's like an onion, the events at one layer always have repercussions at the outer layers. So for instance, if you have calm thoughts, then energy flows peacefully in your body, smoothly, and it makes your breath flow deeply and smoothly. And because of that, the outer body receives the food in a very deep and regular way. And then your body becomes strong and trim. Now there is another layer. There is another layer at the center of the onion. It's deeper, it's below the thoughts. And that's the layer that we talked very early, I believe in the first class. It's the layer that stores, it's a warehouse of billions upon billions of tiny small imprints or seeds stored deeply within your heart center. This is where the projector of reality is. And these imprints or mental images are how we take care of others in the traditions of all traditions. It's called karma, but it's basically the effect of the cause or the causes of all the events that happen in our life. So that's why we talked a lot about moral principles as the most important prerequisite for a good meditation practice. Now, the backbone is where the biggest energy channels go through, where this biggest and most important ones, there's 72,000 of them. They cover our entire body, but the most important ones that I want you to think about, they run on the backbone. And the backbone is formed when the baby is conceived. The backbone is formed around these channels. The bones are formed like chocolate coating the ice cream. And so that's why the spine is very sensitive, because these three channels, they originate from here. So that's why we talked about not concentrated overly and not squishing this part where we usually squish when we concentrate. And this is where the main channel that is critical to us, to the well-being, to having loving, positive thoughts. That's where it originates. And there are two more channels that start where our nostrils do. Our nostrils are formed around these two channels. So, and then they travel along the spine, across the entire body, and they crisscross. They form knots. The knots are called chakras. They're choke points, the choke points of the energy. And at some point, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the choke points and the importance. But the idea is to send the energy to the central channel where we feel loving, compassionate thoughts. And then yoga actually helps untie the knots and helps keep the mind calm and peaceful. So peaceful mind is like a still lake that allows us to see into the bottom of it, into the bottom of what's in the center of the onion, to the ultimate reality. But it's this whole explanation is to help you understand how important it is to keep the straight back and not to move in the position. Keep it still like a rock, because everything is connected in our bodies. So the breath is always with us. It's the most available technique to calm the mind. It's also the most available technique to slow down the body. It's also easiest to slow the emotions, to cope with the emotions. Um, and and we do that by slowing down the breathing. And the reason in the system there is an exhale followed by the inhale, and that's counts as a single breath, it's for us to remember how short the life is and make a statement to not squander the precious time. What I also wanted to talk about is there are two more other techniques that I want to give you that help you get the body and mind into the neutral state. Because in the neutral state, you can separate, you can distance yourself from the object, there is a little bit of distance, the space between thoughts. And one of the easiest, and I've done that early on, is focusing on the sounds. So focusing your mind on the external sounds. You simply keep your attention on the sound outside, or inside, like an air conditioner. So for instance, if you were just to listen to me right now without paying attention to it and sort of wrap your mind around the sound, you can, over time, when you hold your focus and do it for a couple of minutes, or maybe 10 breaths is the rule of thumb, you are holding your awareness on the object holder, that is your ear consciousness. And when you do the holding of the sound for a little bit, it slows your thoughts, it slows your breathing, it slows your mind, it slows your body. So there are a lot of other techniques. Sometimes the sound of the heartbeat, listening to that in your ears, is another sound. It's more advanced, but it works as well. So there is another technique, and it's also very good for somebody who has sensations that are intense throughout the body, maybe even pain. And I've heard people tell me, I get a headache when I meditate, or something hurts. So it's when you start watching the sensations in your body, it allows the mind, the object holder, to unwrap itself from the object, which could be pain, release it and give distance to that object and allow that object to drop from awareness. Typically, we don't want to drop the object, but in this case, we do. So if somebody wants to drop away the sensation of the pain, you could focus your mind on something that you wish to place it on. So, our mind is tricky. It constantly comes back to the thing that is the brightest and shiniest object. And the brightest and shiniest object for us, in this case, is the sensation of the pain. We get compulsive around certain thoughts. There's nothing that entertains us more than our own thoughts. So if you have an issue with the pain in the body, this technique might be very helpful to come and start the meditation with. So how about we try this? We try this technique for a couple of minutes. And maybe you can practice it. So then you'll have 3 techniques to calm your mind. I'm pointing to 3. So it's the breath, it's the sound, and then it's the sensations in the body. So how about we just sit down? I'll walk you through it. Sit down, put your feet firmly on the ground, straighten your back. I invite you to close your eyes. And then what do? We gradually move through the body, looking at different sensations, starting with the feet. Then we move to the ankles, calves. So basically, we're going to cover the entire body. And what we'll look for is the changes. Changes with the inhale or exhale. So if something, as you breathe in, changes, you pay attention to it, as you breathe in, is it getting more intense or less intense? The sensation, the feeling in. So put yourself in the 7-point posture, meditation. Check your legs first and your feet. Check your hands next, the placement of them. Check your spine, that it's rising straight. Up your, pull yourself, pull in the abdominal, which makes your shoulder blades come together on the back. Make the shoulders parallel to the ground. Then check your chin, that it's level to the ground. Check your tongue, check your eyes, and make sure your face is totally relaxed. And once you have yourself in this meditation posture, begin to become aware. So place your attention, your awareness on your feet. And check to see what those sensations are. Check to see if they change with the breath. Check to see if they're pleasant or unpleasant. Then move to the ankles. And the same way as you breathe in and out, focusing on your ankles. Does your sensation change? Move to your calves. Check again. Move to your knees. Check your feelings and sensations there. Are there any intense sensations in your knees? And if so, do they change when you exhale? Do they diminish on the inhale or on the exhale? Or do they increase on an inhale and increase on an exhale? Now move to your thighs. Check your sensations there. Move to your buttock and check. Go higher to your low abdominal and low back. Move up to your chest, medium upper back, and check to see what the sensations are in your chest and upper back. Are they changing at all? And now check your shoulders. Check your hands and wrists. Check your forearms and elbows. Check your upper arms. Check your neck for changing sensations. Check your face. What are the sensations changing on your face? And now check your scalp. And now you can open your eyes. Did you find your body relaxed? Did you find that your mind felt more relaxed? Just by observing sensations in the body. There was a time when I did this meditation daily. I remember the book called Emotional Intelligence. And it helped me a lot to go through the first, crisis, 2008 crisis. And I would do this thinking that that's the meditation for 10, 15 minutes every day. And it helped me stay calm. So if this is something for you, by all means, use it. So you have 3 techniques that help your body, slow down your mind, and focus. Because when your mind is slow, when your body is relaxed, you can focus the meditation on the object of meditation. That will help you fulfill the most important purpose for the meditation itself. I also want to make a very, very important point. Please keep it in mind. I want to stress it. If you lose your mind in the course of the meditation, and you don't even remember when you lost it, and your mind just wanders, you followed one of the thoughts, and when you notice that you're no longer focusing on the object and have no idea how long it's been, when you catch yourself, please be happy. Don't become discouraged, because it's so important to be happy that you caught yourself, because your mind is like a puppy. It wants positive reinforcement, so that you continue to sit yourself down into the meditation every day. So these small seeds of happiness that you plant today will lay the foundation for a good meditation tomorrow. So don't judge your meditation or have too much pride. Meditate daily and feel happy about it. So remember to be happy when you catch yourself that you're off course. And now let's move into the Mahamudra meditation. It's our first meditation object outside of the objects that relax the body that we just talked about. Mahamudra is literally translated as a great seal, the great seal of emptiness. And the emptiness is something that I've been talking over and over. It's the idea that everything in the universe is devoid of its own meaning. It's empty. And everything that we attribute meaning onto things comes from us. So it's the great seal of emptiness that everything is stamped with in the universe. So this technique is extremely helpful when you start to meditate. It helps you understand yourself. It helps you understand your compulsions. It helps you understand how your mind works, what you focus on throughout the day. Because the truth is, for the most part, we're either stuck in the past or too anxious about the future. We're never in the present. So using the Mahamudra technique, you can diagnose a lot of what's going on in the mind. And this technique is you using the mind to spy on your own mind, to spy on the thoughts of your own mind. It's you apportion as if the portion you take a portion of your mind, you designate a point, an observer, a watcher, a spy, however you want to call it. It's as if somebody is watching from the back what you're doing on your computer. It is the same observer, the same watcher that watches the breath sensations or bodily sensation. It is the same concept. So it might sound difficult, but you'll get a grip on it, I promise. And what this watcher does distances itself from the object holder, the main mind. And it's like a little antenna that comes from behind your mind and watches the thoughts that go in your mind. But you don't get involved in these thoughts. You just observe them, don't follow them, don't change them. They are what they are. It's a very neutral audience. It's as if you watch a movie without any emotional attachment, and you don't get lost in the thoughts. And if you notice that you get involved or engrossed and you cannot separate yourself from the thought, then be happy about it. Be happy about it. And so separate like a little antenna, like a prison guard who just watching what's going on there, doesn't get muddled into whatever the affairs are. So you can understand what's going on in your mind. And when and I also want you to label your thoughts when they come up. As they come, put a sticker on it, past, present, or future. Just put a little label. That's all you're doing. That's the job of your watcher today. So let's do a couple of minutes of it so you can practice it later at home. So get into the comfortable position and let's try this meditation. Feet on the ground or in the lotus position if you want to. Spine rise, nice and straight. Hands relaxed on your lap. Right hand in your left hand. Tighten your stomach. Relax your shoulders. Chin parallel to the ground. Tongue gently touches the upper teeth. Gently close your eyes. Relaxed face and the eyes. And then bring your awareness to the sensation of your breath through the nose. And let's do this to the count of 10. Hold your attention right now on the breath. And it's breathe out, breathe in. And gently increase your exhale to 6 seconds. Slow it down. And don't worry about your breath in. Now I want you to drop your focus from the breath and imagine there is a little observer behind you, simply watching your thoughts. He simply labels the thoughts, letting them leave just easily as they came to nowhere. Let's try this for a few minutes. Now, could you shift your object to the awareness and gently open your eyes? So, if your mind went wandering, it's okay. Be happy that you found it. It's not always easy to focus on your thoughts. The thoughts are very intriguing to us. I told you this. And, the space between the thoughts, it's a space where there is some kind of sensation that your awareness could focus on that too. So perhaps try to guide your mind towards that as well. Don't get discouraged. Please practice until the next week. And now, and next week, next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll talk about dullness and agitation. And thank you so much for being here with me today. And until the next week.